Hey, all right, Shalom, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to our fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, the hopeful elect, the elect, Lord willing. We're some of those men and women who believe in fear in Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yeah, my brother Gabar Yahawada from GMS Hawaii coming to you with another quick lesson. And I typically don't like doing videos when it regards the Israelite woman, because a lot of times these videos, they get overly sensationalized. You know, Jake out here, they just want to see women. You know, you got Jake out here think that all we do is bash women and da-da-da-da-da. But that's not the case at all. You know what I mean? It's about order, you know. So, but the spirit jumped on me to want to do this lesson real quick. It was inspired by a video. I actually spoke to the elder earlier this morning, my time. Elder Manata Zagba, he did a video entitled Being a Hebrew Israelite is Self-Idolatry. You know, failure, rejected, reprobate, silver. And that's what this woman is. And this woman right here, you know, first and foremost, they weren't led to the 100% truth. I believe one woman was following IUIC. This woman right here is followed GOCC. But the statistics remain the same. Whenever these women are so-called introduced to the truth, and I use air quotes, because these two particular women weren't really introduced to the truth. They were just told that they were Israelites, and they rejected it. And most women, not all women, you got sisters that believe. You know, you got something called the elect woman, right? So there are elect women that are going to be that fear the Lord and believe in the Lord, right? And there are women, Israelite women, that's going to be saved. The elect woman, KJV, right? Yeah. The elect lady. Okay, 2 John 1 and 1. 2 John 1 and 1. It's the book of 2 John chapter 1. Well, it's only one chapter, but the first verse is the elder. It says, walk according to his commandments. It says, the elder unto the elect lady and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not I only, but also they that have known the truth, right? And that's the key thing, the truth, right? Because these women, they weren't really introduced to the truth, right? They were introduced to Israelite, being an Israelite, understanding that they are the Israelites. They are Israelites if they go back to us on their father's side. But I notice a lot more than often that these women reject the truth, right? Because these women, they love lies. They love this world, right? This world has a stronger value to them than it does the Israelite men. Right? So a lot of times you have, well, not a lot of times, all the time, you have to withdraw from this world. And that's something that I find that any woman who claim to believe that they're Israelites, they have a hard time doing. And I myself experienced this, you know, with my daughter's mother. You know, I didn't bring her in the truth. I didn't introduce her to the truth. Supposedly she had a family that was in the truth. But eventually she got disheartened. She got disenchanted and rejected it more than anything, right? And so again, it says the elder unto the elect lady and her children, whom I love in the truth, and not only I, but also all they that have known the truth, right? For the truth's sake, which dwelleth in us and shall be with us forever, right? So there's a lot of women out there that do believe. There's a greater more amount that don't. I want to read this in the NLT. It says, this letter is from John the elder. I am writing this to the chosen lady and to her children, whom I love in the truth, as does everyone else who knows the truth, right? Because there's women out there that do know the whole truth and believe the whole truth. They're not out teaching the truth. But a lot of times these women, you know, they might experience something with a man. You know, that's 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. Right? They experience shit with a man. Like this woman you're going to hear in a second, she was speaking about how like she wasn't ready to let go of not she didn't, well, she's with GLCC, so they off anyway. But the point of the matter is she didn't want to accept Yahushua, right? So she was already in that spirit, and she couldn't get over certain things. So certain things was a stumbling block. This woman right here, featured in Elder Manata Zakba's video, she was just, you know, she wanted to learn about the one she ignorantly called Jesus on her own and set up her own foundation, her own interpretation. That's pretty much what this is about, you know. But like her father found out he was an Israelite, and then he tried to press upon her that she was an Israelite and get her to change her ways, and she was like, nah, she wasn't having it. It was too much for her. And you can hear her grievances in this video right here. So the reason why I bring this up is because this ministry is not women-centered, right? This ministry is not woman-centered, nor is it woman-focused. And I think that's, well, you can use both words, center and focused, right? This ministry is not woman-focused. And I believe a lot of times that's where the conflict comes in at, because this world is woman-focused. These world religions, right? These beliefs, they're woman-focused and woman-centered. Whether you go to Christianity, whether you go to Islam, right? Islam, they're Salakia. Islam, they're trying to, I got to charge my battery. Salakia, brothers. Just bear with me. So, again, this truth is not woman-centered or focused. This ministry is not woman-centered and focused. Right? Is the right now the Lord is dealing with his men, right? And that's order. The Most High is all about order. He said, what? Let all things be done decently and in order. All right? Right? Yep. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, the last verse in this precepts. It says, let all things be done decently and in order. Right? Especially with the Church of Corinthians, right? The Church of Corinthians had a big issue with exalting women, placing women in leadership roles. You had women preaching, you had women talking. So a lot of times Paul had to really come down on this particular church because they were just completely engulfed into heathenism. And that's where that comes from, right? The heathens focus on the woman's role. They overinflate the woman's role and value. That's what they do. I'm not saying that women don't have a value. I'm not saying that women don't have a role. But those two things should never be overinflated, especially over the men, because it's an order to things. And so a lot of times when these women find out they're Hebrew Israelites, you know, it don't take much to get them disenchanted. That's why you don't see women on the streets prophesying and preaching, because that's not a woman's role, right? Women aren't supposed to be in war. And when we are in a spiritual battle, this is a spiritual war, right? So this is set up for the men. But in the world that we live in the feminism world, post-secondary, third feminism waves that done approach this world, women believe that they have a more prominent role in this body than they truly do. Okay? And so I kind of wanted to just bring out some precepts and a little bit of history. You know, like the Lord didn't have everything as a free-for-all. It wasn't men and women gathering together just nilly-willy, you know, being together just for the sake of being together. Like you see, you know, you might see an image of some shit like this. Let me see a black nightclub, right? A black nightclub, right? I just want to pull, yeah, shit like this. Just an image like this. This is not the way ancient Israelites gathered, right? This is not the way that we as Israelite men and women gathered in the ancient world. This comes from the Roman era, right? The Grecian era. They did this shit. And why is that? Why was there always a separation? Because first and foremost, in the ancient world, these women would be married. They would have husbands. So an event like this will cause what? Adultery, confusion. And we know that the Lord is not an author of confusion. I know I just read verse 40, but Let's go to verse 33. The Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints, man. Well, let's keep on reading. Let your women learn in silence. In the churches, they don't want to hear this. You got people calling themselves Christians, calling themselves born again, and a lot of them are trying to get away from the Christian church because of the BS that's behind that. So they think that they could just walk this path on their own, and they could develop their own relationship with the one they ignorantly call God and Jesus. All right? So again, it says, let your woman keep silence in the churches. If you tell your woman, hey, you need to be quiet, right? She gonna have a fit. She gonna have a heart attack. She gonna lose her fucking shit, right? Because she wants to always try to, there's a word for it, to assert her authority within the relationship. And guess what? The Lord ain't with that, right? The Lord's not with that. This is 1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to be in silence. Once again, being in silence. When you're in silence, you're being obedient, right? You're not asserting your authority. You're not trying to assert your office. You know, you're in obedience. You're listening, right? So again, back in 1 Corinthians 14:34, let your women keep silence in the churches, right? Now, whatever y'all do at the house, that's your business. But when you're amongst these body of believers, your mouth needs to be shut. For it is not permitted unto them to speak. It wasn't, because the Lord ain't dealing with them, right? And even men have to be quiet, because if we're being taught, we have to listen. The scripture tells us to keep thy foot when you go to the house of the Lord. Unless you a teacher or prophet, you need to be listening, taking this in, understanding it, being renewed. So it says, let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they that are commanded to be under, obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church, in the congregation. That word should be congregation, because the Lord is congregating men. He's not congregating women. So if you have women that's amongst the body, they need to be quiet. If they got any questions, they need to ask their husbands at home. They might be standing there with their husbands listening and learning. Well, hey, my Lord, or my husband, whatever. Hey, I didn't really quite understand this. Can you help me understand? And that's how that works. That's order. Because what end up happening, these women will see a man of, like they always do, women are hypergamous by nature. They see a man of authority and they get attracted to that. And then they're drawn to that. But wait a minute, you got a husband. And what is that going to cause? Adultery, confusion, conflict. And that's why the Lord is not the author of confusion, but of peace, man. And this is confusion right here. You know, you got women, some of these women are on their periods. Look, this woman is drinking alcohol and dancing. That's going to inhibit her sexual appetite. A lot of these women going to go home with some of these men or other men and lay down with them, even though they got men at home, right? They probably got children. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, y'all want us to have a good time. Y'all want us to be able to live. We want to live. That's what women want to do. Women want to live, right? They want to live. They want to live in abundance and pleasure, right? They want the good times to keep rolling. They don't want to see ill happen, right? They don't want to see that. So you get images like this and you think that, I'm trying to open this up in another tab, right? You would think that, like, seeing images like this is good because everybody's in a jovial spirit, a riotous spirit, but this is off. This is wicked, right? And people don't see that. When we was in the world, we didn't see it. We was in these clubs dancing on Lord knows who, on God knows whose woman, right? You got transformers out there. You don't know what's going on. Women on their period, women, you know, just nasty. Women that just dropped children, had dropped seed out of their wombs. All kinds of shit going on up in there, man. These people ain't the best of friends. These people ain't in order. This is out of order. And just like this is out of order, so is this. So is this.
series and set of videos into why I left Hebrew Israelism. And I do feel as though watching those over and over and getting the comments that I've gotten from Hebrew Israelites and Christians alike, I do believe that there are a few clarifying factors and facts about myself that I just want to add to provide some additional context. I was introduced to Hebrew Israelite doctrine in approximately 2019. However, I was never quite introduced to it by name. I started studying with a group of people that studied the Blue Bible, the scriptures. So in studying this, I ended up going on to research and see exactly which group of people held this belief. And through that, I found out, oh, hey, like I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And that false doctrine was so stealth that even when I was a part of a group of people that were studying it that never called themselves Hebrew Israelism by name, I still was able to find out what that was and to find out that this is a lens through which we are reading the Bible through. So I started calling myself an Israelite in 2019. I did not join GOCC until 2000.
So she joined GOCC, and a lot of these women, they also, I don't do the groups, I don't do this, I don't do that, right? Like, again, trying to approach the Lord and His Son, Yahweh Shai Shai, on their own accord. First of all, you could tell that this woman wasn't renewed in the spirit. She got blonde hair, she cut her hair off, she's bald-headed, right? She got blonde hair, dyed her hair blonde, and you got another woman right here saying, what group were you with? I still know who I am, but I don't do groups, right? And then she says GOCC. I see why she left. That's the wrong congregation to be with. And then she says no congregation is necessarily, but joining with like-minded others is the congregation and other course of family, right? And then let me go to this chick page. Look at this chick. She's straight up through, completely through. She's absolutely bald-headed with a wig on, bugged out. Look, this is what they want. This is what these women want, right? Pregnancy, OOT. You telling me that this bitch is in the truth and then she left because she had a real reason to leave? Like, look at this. Look at this. I'm not even going to play the music. I'm just going to play this. Look at this. Raising my vibe, you right? I'm supposed to listen to something like this, right? She playing, these hoes love the world, bro. Like Lot wife, man. Like Lot wife. Look at this shit. She's through. I absolutely no. Go back. She's through. Look at this shit. Pregnant and all. So you know all she doing is sitting up in the house fucking all day, barely paying bills, catching hell, doing what she do in this world, wearing wigs, just through. Just fucking through. And I'm supposed to sit here and I'm supposed to listen to her. And then another one who so-called was with, you know, all this makeup on their face, they want to be in the world, bro. They do not want to be in the truth. And I was telling Elder Menachizak earlier, I was like, bro, I don't tell no woman about the truth. And I just can't do it anymore. I've been there. We done been there and done that. And it didn't take long for me to realize, hey, that's not the move. You know, if your woman, the scripture says, if you have a wife that's what? Pleasing to dwell with, right? Pleasing to dwell with, right? Pleasing to dwell with. Oh, man, come on. Right. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 10. Because you have non-believing husbands and wives, man. Right? Nobody telling you to just get up and just go do your own thing. No. It says right here, it says teaching on marriage. Right? I'm gonna go straight to the point. It says right here, verse 10. It says, and unto the married I command ye yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. But the rest I speak, I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she is pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. So if you got a wife that don't believe, you keep her ass. If she's cool, if she's pleasing to dwell with, if she's in order with you, it's fine. It's no big deal. You ain't got to sit there and force your wife to be converted in the spirit. Now, typically women follow men in their spirit. So whatever the spirit of man is on, the woman usually jumps on it. But sometimes, especially today, that ain't the case. Right? But if your woman is pleasing to dwell with, hey, don't cast her away. And even if y'all break up, right? Try to reconcile if you can. You know what I'm saying? That's what Paul said. Let her remain unmarried if they depart from one another. Because it's better for them to be reconciled so that she wouldn't be forced to commit adultery or be put in that position. Let's keep on reading. But the rest I speak, I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she is pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And the woman which have an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Right. So even if you have a sister that believe, right? These women don't believe. I'm just saying, you have a sister that believe, she ain't supposed to leave her husband because he is a non-believer. Especially if he's pleasing to dwell with, he doing right by her. She doing right by him. And IUIC teaches that you're supposed to leave your people if they don't believe. And that's off. Let's keep on reading. It says, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy, right? They holy because the husband believes, or that particular wife believes, right? So that's order. You feel me? That's order, you know? But you get a lot of these people that come into this truth, men and women, that are so focused on a Western mindset, and they're not truly renewed and born again in the spirit, in the mind, right? So they want to drag and bring in the things of the world, the approaches of the world to the truth. They might get in an argument. They might get frustrated. A lot of these women say, you don't understand that your woman is a conduit of Satan. She's the weaker vessel. So a lot of times these women, they get demons on them, don't even know they got them on them, don't know why they on them, right? They just going through an emotional roller coaster, a mental spiral, a demonic spiral, and they don't understand it. So obviously Satan going to jump at her first, right? It's harder to deal with the men, especially a man that's rooted in the truth with Satan. He going to still try to sift you, but the point of the matter is Yahweh Shai prayed for you, so he ain't going to get you. But your woman, man, she's always going to be a conduit, especially if you in his truth and you in a relationship. And that's why I am a proponent for not teaching my woman the truth, or any woman the truth for that matter. If you believe, you hear this word and you believe, that's one thing. But I'm not going to sit down there and try to convince you of the truth or who you are. And that's another thing. These women, they have an identity crisis. Look. She ain't going to say it, but she wants to be a white woman. She wants to identify with being a white woman. She got her hair blonde, right? She got rouge, red makeup on her cheeks to try to accentuate her cheeks. She made sure before she put that bright light on and behind this camera that she's doing, that she was right. Her lip gloss is good. Her teeth is clean. She made sure that jewelry was laid a certain type of way. Salakia, man. Salakia about that. I took this call. But what I was trying to explain is that these women they haven't left the world, and they're not going to leave. You know what I'm saying? It take a lot for these women to really truly be converted. And for those sisters that are, hey, call halal Yahweh Shem Shai, right? But it's a lot of women out there that's just not. And then they get frustrated, they get disenchanted. I want to go back to this real quick. They get frustrated and they get disenchanted, and the first thing they do is go to the internet, talk about how they left Hebrew Israelism, in which this is the word that Vocab Malone brought up, created, leaving Hebrew Israelism, right? Religious cults, right? They don't even know what the word cult means. Cult just means worship. Christianity is a religious cult. Islam is a religious cult. But because this knowledge and truth is really on fire right now, right? And everybody know about it. Now people want to try to come against it, particularly these Christians and these women, and they want to talk about Jesus and my relationship with Jesus. That's not even the name of the Heavenly Father or His Son. Neither is Ahia and Yeshaya. That's not the name of the Most High and His only begotten Son. Right? Right? It says, I believe people labeled as black are indeed Hebrew Israelites, but the doctrine was twisted. The Holy Bible in its many translations from Genesis to Revelation is the only doctrine we lend our. And that's another thing. You only understand doctrine. It says they yell too much for me. And I'm not calling no man Lord. Glad you got out. You see? These women are disobedient as fuck. So it's like, bro, why would you even try? And that's why the Lord ain't raising up women. Right? That's why I wanted to really truly focus on. I ain't want to really go into a lot of this stuff regarding these women. But the Lord ain't dealing with you women. Not in the capacity of a prophet, not in the capacity of a teacher, not in the capacity of a man of the Lord. That is not what the Lord is dealing with. If the Lord allows you women to have a man of the Lord, that's a blessing to you, for you. Right? And these women, I ain't calling no man Lord. Why she ain't doing that? Because she's into feminism. And then what she do? Reply with a laugh. Right? She replied with a laugh. We don't do, Salakia. She says, we don't do the camps. Very bad doctrine. So they just want to do their own thing. It says, mine came from God to me. I didn't join camps. Thank goodness. Right? And you women ain't supposed to join no camp. That ain't for you. Because the Lord ain't dealing with you on that level. Revelation 21:3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. And not every man. It's with the Israelite man. Right? And he will dwell with them. And they shall be his people. And the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God. Because it starts with the men. The Lord is not an author of confusion. He ain't going to go to the helpmeet and start with her. No, it starts with the man. The woman came sin, and through her we all die. So, no. The Lord ain't dealing with no woman on that level. He's not dealing with the woman in a position of a prophet. He's not dealing with a woman in a position of a teacher. He's not dealing with the woman in a position of spiritual gifts and powers. Now, the woman going to have visions and dreams. The scripture said that. But she's going to have a man of the Lord to what? To teach her. Because that's what the Lord is dealing with. And it's an order. Right? It's the Most High. It's His only begotten. Well, I'll go to it. Right? Because you jakes don't want to hear this. So like this first Corinthians. I'll go straight to the point, man. It says Christian order, but it's really biblical order. Right? It says, verse 5. 1 Corinthians 11:5. But it says, but every woman that prayeth and prophesied unto her. I'm sorry. Verse 3. 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, right? Which is Yahushua. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. So it's the Heavenly Father Yahweh. It's His only begotten Son Yahushua. It's the Israelite man. And in this case of this conversation, it's the elect man. And then it's His woman. That's how the order works. So if the Lord's going to deal with anybody, he ain't going to skip the man and go and deal with the woman. That's not going to happen. Right? He ain't going to exalt the woman and put her in a position of prophesying and preaching on the street. That's why you don't see groups of women on the street. You see groups of men on the streets prophesying and preaching, because that's how it always been, even in the ancient world. Proverbs 8:4. Unto you, O men, I call. And my voice is to the sons of man. His voice is not to the daughters of man. It says, I call you to all of you. I raise my voice to all people. Nope, that's going off. It says in the NKJV, to you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. Right? It says, people I call out to you, my cry is to the children of Adam. And it's really the sons, the children, the sons, the bun is the sons of Adam and Shem. inside of Shem that come out of Shem, which is what? The Israelites. This is Job 39:17. Because the Most High had deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted unto her understanding. Right. So the woman is deprived of wisdom. She don't have the understanding of Yahweh Shem Shah like that. I'm not saying that you're incapable of believing. I'm not saying you're incapable of having faith. I'm not saying that, because you have women that do have faith. You got sisters out there that support the ministry, right? That's quiet, that's in the background. Don't nobody even know about. We don't see them. They ain't out here flexing and flashing. They fearing the Lord, and they being patient, and they waiting, right? But the point of the matter is, when it comes to, because when you look this word up for understanding, wisdom and understanding, I'll do it for you. The interliner, wisdom, the Hebrew word there is hakama, right? Hakama, which is wisdom, skill in war. That's not for women. Wisdom in administration. That's not for women. Shrewdness and wisdom. Wisdom, prudence, and religious affairs. Who were the priests of the Most High? Men. That's why the Lord said, I'm going to make you a nation of what? Priests and kings, or kings and priests. Not priestess and princesses. No. Not priestesses and queens. No. It's a nation of what? Kings and priests. Those are men. Shrewdness and wisdom. Wisdom and religious affairs. Wisdom, ethical affairs. Women don't have that blessing given unto them. Right? He didn't impart her in those things. Understanding. The Hebrew word for understanding is bayana, right? Bayana, that's a good Hebrew name. Bayana, right? Which is understanding and discernment, faculty, object personified, knowledge, perfectly understand, right? And that's where you see these women struggle with. They struggle with 100% understanding. And the Lord didn't lead these women to men of the Lord, true men of the Lord. Right? These women, they in a relationship, they got men in the world that they connected to. Right? These women are rebellious and disobedient. You be in the house fighting and arguing with this bro all damn day long, man. You got women all on the internet dressed up in a certain type of manner, claiming that they be keeping the laws, dancing in the supermarkets, sitting in Walmart preaching, just totally going off, man. Just out of order, man. Right? This is Ezekiel 34:31. And yea, my flock, the flock of my pasture are men. And I am your God, saith the Lord Yahweh. That link up with Revelation 21:3. Right? It didn't say it's with all mankind. It's with men. Right? It's not with everybody. And so you get these different versions of the precepts, and they try to manipulate the words to make it more universally acceptable. That's why in the NLT and the CSB, it's talking about human flock of my pasture. No, it said men. It said men. Ezekiel 34:31 in the NLT, the word there again is men. Adama. Right? Or Adam, which is what? Man. Man. Right? Mankind, more frequently intended in sense in the Old Testament, not mankind. Adam, the first man. Right? That's what it's about. It's about the man. And that's something in this world that these women can't understand. You got men out there on the corners asserting their authority in this truth. And that's a turn off to these women. Because we live in a feministic world, a feminism world, a feminism-based world where women are exalted. Women have the preeminence over men. Right? And now we telling these women how to get in order, what to do, what they need to do to change themselves. They ain't trying to hear that. You could clearly see she wasn't trying to hear. That's why the Lord didn't lead her to Great Millstone. The Lord didn't lead this woman to Great Millstone. Right? The first thing they say, I don't deal with the camps. I don't deal with, everybody want to do their own thing. And that ain't the way you do things. You got to do all things in order. And the woman especially the black woman, she's the furthest from order. She's the furthest from order. She's completely out of order. Right. Like this person right here says, just say you want to do whatever you want to do, sis. Just say that. Even a woman told her that. A woman told her that. Who's talking about me online? It says, who's talking about me online? Yeah, you see? right? And so they get argumentative when somebody just tell them the truth. This sister right here told her the truth. Just keep it honest. You want to do whatever you want to do. You don't want to do what Yahweh Shem Yahushua tells you to do and has prescribed to do. Just like this woman. And then they get angry. They want to talk about the love of Jesus and all that. That's that bullshit you learn in the world, plantation Christianity. That ain't in the scriptures. That ain't in the truth. You see? Yeah, this sister, hey, shout out to this woman right here, Miss J. It says, sis, is you okay? I'm glad you're out. I was miserable and my life was hell. It says, they tried to destroy me. IUIC, 5 years free and 2 beautiful daughters from it. As I'm well, sis. Thank you for asking. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And you know, IUIC got a lot of blood on their hands, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's another lesson for another time. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, you just got to understand that the majority of these women ain't going to make it in America, bro. They're not. Right? They ain't humbled. Right? And by the time they get humbled, it's going to be too late for a lot of these women. But the point of the matter of this lesson was that the truth, this ministry of ours is not female focused, right? The woman is not the focus of our identity. Neither is she the focus of our mindset. She should not be. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is our focus. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the focus of this ministry, right? And whether you believe it or not, it's still the truth. As the scripture says in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1. It says, well, matter of fact, I'll just skip to verse 3. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. Right? So if you don't believe, that's fine. It ain't gonna hurt me. And if you unfaithful, you're gonna die in your unfaithfulness. Right? And then there's gonna be a time when you're gonna be like, oh, I should have listened. They was right. The men of Great Millstone was truly right. You know? We're not using this truth to manipulate your life. We don't want your money. We don't want your body. We don't want shit from you. We just want to give you the truth with no doubt. Straight up 100% truth. That's it. If you can't receive it, you can't receive it. Right? We ain't trying to manipulate your life. We ain't trying to get your social security number and we get you to change your last name. Nah. Fuck out of here, bro. How's that? That's not what this truth is about. This truth is about Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and pushing the truth of who we truly are. We're not black. We're not Latino. We're not Hispanic. We're not Native Americans. Right? We are Israelites. Whether you believe it or not, it's the truth. And when it's all said and done, you'll see it. The same must know it at the what? Death by pain. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to focus on that, man. And you know, the Spirit just jumped on me to do this lesson. I hope you were edified, man. But again, this truth is not female focused. Right? This truth is not about raising up the tabernacles of women. Hell no. The 144,000 men, the men out of the 12,000 out of each tribe of Israel, the 144,000, that's the governing body. We're not going to have no co-ed government in our kingdom. Ain't going to be no woman sitting next to a man dictating policy and talking. Not going to happen. Right? That's not going to happen. And then you got the mixed multitude of men, women, and children that believe and fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and truth. That make up the 1/3 of Israel. Okay? But it starts with the man first. Our ministry is to the men first. And with that, I say shalom on to the next.